Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here coming at you with the 7th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Like I've said in the first couple of videos, this is a redo of the guide I originally made. This time I'm trying to do it better and try and minimize certain things of each video, that way they aren't as long and are more straight to the point of where to go, what to do, items to grab, things like that, shards to possibly use. And like I've always said before, you don't have to follow and use the build that I use. You are allowed to research, farm, do whatever you want in between these episodes and use whatever builds you want to use. What I want to be taken away from this is just how to navigate through the areas and the bosses to fight to progress through the game, as well as any and all possible trophies to grab along the way that aren't missable, and even some that are missable, of course. Now from here we are back here in the hidden desert, and one thing we're actually going to do is, in the last video I mentioned possibly farming for a weapon. Now actually what I highly recommend doing is, now that we can kind of sink in the water, we're actually going to go and grab that said weapon. So the best way to do that as you see, will simply be just going through the area that we are, if possible, without dying, of course. Sorry, cat knocked over my cup. Anyways, now from here, like I've always said, whenever you have a chance, simply head up to the Hall of Termination and save your progress, or just simply restore your HP. Do note, if you do get poisoned, you won't get killed. It will simply take you all the way down to 1 HP, as you'll see. Pretty scary, I know, but don't worry. So, like I said, we're now going to get some things. So if you come here to the Forbidden Underground Waterway, as you'll see, you'll now have some passive shards on automatically. The deep sinker is one of them. Another shard you probably want to equip is just the aqua stream for the extra benefit while in water. As you'll see, pretty nice, as you don't use any MP when using that when you're underwater. And the range is pretty nice, and you can infinitely jump while you're underwater, which is pretty cool. Here you can find a secret room with some gold, HP up, now that you have the deep sinker ability, you don't really get to glide around as much as before, but that's okay. So while we're here in this area specifically, if we come over here, of course having to swap shards can be kind of annoying. But coming over here, you'll have access to this room here. Simply wait. Now here up in this area, just right above us, of course. As you'll see, you'll find a chest right here with the swordfish, which I do believe is an actual upgrade weapon-wise. But over here, you'll find probably one of the more important items, the plunderer ring. This is a very important item, as when equipped, we will just simply scroll down. It makes the increase of item drops. So basically, if you're trying to farm for something, then this will help you out. So best to do is equip your aqua stream and have the plunderer's ring on. You will lose a little bit of defense and all that, but trust me, it's worth it. So now what you're going to want to do is come over here and farm for a very specific item from the horse. As you see, it doesn't take long at all to fight and defeat the horse, but it's going to take a bit of time, so I'm going to skip to when I actually get the item to drop. There you see the item I just got, the Imer, right here. This item is really good and will help out quite a lot, and you can craft it into much stronger weapons later on as well. So don't just keep it as is, you can upgrade it to even better. Now, me being me, I like to just mainly keep the plunderer's ring on because, as you'll see, the item drops that you get from enemies is much better than what you would get normally. So farming will be less overall. There we go, one more time using the reflector ray. Now do note this is also the main path of the game that you have to go through. So we'll just put that back on and be on our way to the secret sorcery lab. Now, there'll be a cutscene here. Now, one thing I want to make sure that you guys have is a waystone. Make sure you have a couple of them on you. They're only 100 gold. You still can backtrack to the teleporter from where we are right now, so don't worry about getting too far before doing that, but just having that is really nice. Now, if you do happen to have enough and you want to, I would recommend making sure you have some fried fish. You can farm them in the underground water area. As you'll see right here, there's a bunch of these blue chests that you can do. So what you can do is go to that area, farm the chests, go to the hidden desert or wherever you want to, what makes it easier, and then go back and all of the blue chests will reset, and then you can farm those fish. Now, the main reason why I want you to make sure you have plenty of waystones on you is if, say you get too far into an area and you think you're not going to be able to make it or continue on, and you don't want to lose progress because you don't know where the save room is, what you can do is you can go and use a waystone, and this will teleport you back to Arvenville. It sucks because it teleports you all the way back there, but the downside is, or the upside is, you'll be back at home base. So you can restock, you'll be in much weaker enemied areas, of course, so you can do that. If you have money, you can also go and buy high potions, whatever you need to, you know. But for now, we're going to be continuing on through this area here. Like I said, as you'll see, here you'll have a new enemy type. As you can see already, the effect of just having the plunderer's ring is doing wonders for me. Up here you'll find a chest. Like I said, the blue chests are very specific to what areas they generate from. Here you'll find another chest. And if I do remember correctly, okay, yeah. This top room should be a save, if I'm not mistaken. No, it is a teleporter, so once again, if you need to head back and save at the Hall of Termination, like I said, it's the easiest because it's the closest teleport to save location, or the one at the entrance as well. Both, whichever one works for you in helping you save and keep progress. Alright, but from here we're basically going to continue on and go and fight the boss of the area. From here you'll just drop down and into this area here. As you'll see, you'll find the save point pretty close to the teleporter, but like I always recommend doing, saving before any boss fight. Alright, but from here you're basically going to go and take on the boss of the area, which is basically a clone of yourself. Now this clone will use a bunch of different shards and weapons and skills that you probably don't use yourself. Whenever you have a chance, getting some good damage in is always good here. As you'll see, the combos are pretty strong. As well as the abilities and shards that they use. Basically, the best time to get some decent damage in is when she uses the dragon attack. Like I said, can be a tough fight because she can easily combo. Also, the fact that some of the shards that she uses and damage she does is pretty consistently strong. Going for about a couple of attacks whenever you get the chance is probably key here. As you'll see, just like that. Whenever you get the chance, try and run away from the fire. Baiting her into some kind of an attack is always key here. If you feel like you need to heal, then by all means. Like I said, best damage is going to be when she does the dragon attack. And just like that, we will have defeated our clone. Mine was a pretty sloppy fight, I'll say. But in the end, hopefully you guys take something away from that. I'm going to try and backtrack and not die to this dark elemental here. Risk losing the whole fight. Gonna save, of course, just because I'm very cautious. Alright, but now we're going to move on to the next area. I figured with 2 short videos coming out, I should probably do a medium one if possible. But from here, you basically are going to want to just come all the way down, follow the path that I take, and we'll cut through the rest of these secret labs. Like most areas, you should be able to easily just go through, bypass most of the enemies. without taking too much damage, of course.
Take this.
We'll have to deal with this giant cat though, regardless. But we'll jump over the other enemy and be on our way. Just checking for any and all secret rooms, if possible. Because you never know what walls might end up being secret. That was really close. But here we can move on to the next area, and I will say the Inferno Cave is also very tough, and its environmental damage is also pretty up there. But luckily I will try and do my best for you guys. Most of the elementals you can dodge or run through. Just be careful of the flame toss enemy there. And the dog here. Do be careful of the dragon as well. These blood bugs are also quite annoying as well. But from here, basically have a pretty straightforward path. Like I said, environmental damage will do a lot to you. But from here, you're going to want to equip your reflector ray. And then here we can move on. This area can be a bit annoying because of the enemies, but you can kind of damage spike through it. Jump over this chest because it is a mimic, and here you'll find your next save point. Alright, so from here, you're pretty much set to go. Now coming down over here, you'll find your next teleporter, which is nice. Now if you really want to, you can always farm this Death Trap or Mimic. It's basically the upgraded version of the Mimic. Depending on how lucky you get, they can sometimes drop some mahogany. They don't ever actually react to you until you actually attack. Basically, they drop the shard that increases your overall luck. As you'll see right here. Which is pretty nice. Like always, whenever you're about to go and fight a boss, save or anything like that, in case you get anything new while farming, because you don't want to end up grinding and then losing that save. So from here we're going to come down and fight this boss. This boss can actually be kind of easy, especially with the weapon we have, because it is very weak to blunt damage. Any sharp base damage will do much to it. As you'll see right there. Some attacks you can kind of just sit right in front of it. Here you want to simply wait, and then it will use its beam attack. Whenever it does this, just simply wait for it to let its beams down, then jump right over it. Like I said, you can sit consistently in front of it and deal some decent damage. Whenever it does this laser attack, depending on where you are, you can consistently just get damage in on it. It's a lot easier when it does it when it's not on the ground, of course. Like I said, when it does this lightning attack or beam attack, you can just wait. And as you'll see, it is a pretty easy boss to fight and deal with. And once you are done, you will get the ability to invert. It is kind of a unique ability. The downside of it is the activation and getting used to its timing. Basically, you'll have to go down and up and then X, and you'll have to do it fairly quickly for it to actually work. Now, it doesn't cost any mana, of course, but just having it is kind of nice because now we can have access to some very unique areas in the game. But that is going to do it for this video. Like I said, having 2 short videos, I think a medium one covering 2 bosses is pretty good, and covering 2 areas as well. But as always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim. I do hope that these videos and guides are helpful and informative in any way, shape, or form. As always though, I will see you all in the next video.